I live next to my sister. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about this. I don't mind living next to my sister. My sister is nuts. But she's like nuts in a good way. At least I think so. You see, it's not so bad because we're close enough that when we need each other, we're right there. But we still have a wall and a door that separates us. So we still also have our own space. It works out perfectly. And I suppose, if you want to get technical about it, there's two doors. Hers and mine. So I'm sitting here last night, and I'm doing my Year Ahead 2020 Tarot card reading. It was huge. I am talking 5 decks, 1 card for each month, 12 months to a year. That's a lot of fucking cards to read, okay? But I'm sitting here, and I'm like almost done. I'm on my last deck. I'm about 3/4 of the way through the month, and I hear a ruckus. And I think to myself, fuck, what is going on next door? What's my sister doing? Then I hear a baby cry. And I think to myself, that ain't my sister's baby crying. And that ain't coming from my sister's house. So I start listening closer. And I hear people screaming, like I hear a woman screaming. There's a baby crying. There's a guy yelling. And I'm like, what the hell is happening outside? You know? So naturally, I do what anybody else would have done. I opened my front door and looked out into my little heart of the ghetto to see what the fuck was going on across the way. My sister, though, she was already there. She was already on that shit. We're going to call her Pumpernickel. My sister's being called Pumpernickel. But she was already outside, standing on the front porch. You know, and I pop my head out the screen door, and I look over, and I'm like, what's going on? You know? So my sister's just all like, man, those people, they're like beating the shit out of each other and shit. You know, and like there's a girl screaming. She was dressed all funky, like real baggy clothes, like real gangster. She thought she was like super gangster or something. I don't know. So we commence to watch the show. You know, we're standing out there watching the drama. You know, my head still just popped out. But she's standing out on the front porch, you know. We're kind of looking back and forth at the people inside the house, and the girl storms out of the house and goes to the parking lot, and the guy's out in the parking lot. And you can hear them kind of talking, but not really. You know, and the other woman, she's in the house, and the baby's still crying. You know, so things quieted down there for a minute, you know. And I asked my sister, I asked Pumpernickel, I'm like, hey, Pumpernickel, what are they fighting over? Like, what's the deal here? What's going on? You know, I missed it. I was inside. I was doing a tarot. And she's all like, they're out here screaming about dope and drugs. And I'm like, oh, I see. So you see this woman, like, storming back up the sidewalk, okay, headed towards this house directly across from me. You know, and then my sister, she's, like, right next to me to the left. So she's kind of diagonal. But so she is storming back up the sidewalk. And let me tell you guys what, Pumpernickel wasn't having any of that shit. She wasn't playing that game. Like, oh, fuck no. So my sister, Pumpernickel, just starts screaming out and yelling at this girl. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, nobody gives a shit what those people are doing in their fucking house. You know, you're out here screaming about dope. We all have kids. We all have kids in this over here. And you're out here screaming about dope. Nobody cares what they're doing in their house. So you can tell that this woman is not, she's not the smartest. I mean, I have average intelligence, and I could tell that she wasn't the smartest. So, but, Pumpernickel, she is just all worked up. She's got the hand gestures going, like she's a pointing. I mean, she's got it all going on. She's just saying her bit. And keep in mind, I am still at this point, my head has just still popped out of my screen door. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. So this woman is just ignoring my sister, and she's still headed up to this house, right? And, Pumpernickel, she don't like that at all, so she was just like, starts screaming out, get your snitch ass out of here, you're a fucking snitch, that shit ain't right, and da-da-da-da-da. If there's something my family knows and understands that, you don't snitch on a motherfucker. Snitching ain't okay. Snitching is never the answer. So at this point, I'm still, my head's still popped out, and the other neighbors across the way from me, they're standing out there, and we're all just kind of looking back at Pumpernickel and back at whoever this other woman was. I don't know who she was. I don't know who she was to the neighbors. I don't know. But we're just kind of, going back and forth, looking, to see what's going to happen, right? Well, this woman, she starts screaming something back at my sister. I don't know what she was yelling, like something about they're doing dope in there. And my sister's like, nobody gives a fuck what they're doing in their house. You are a fucking snitch. Get the fuck out of here and don't come back. So at this point, I think the woman finally, had it in her head that, she was no longer welcome in our neighborhood. I had been here for 3 years, and I ain't never seen no shit like that happen. That was, some fucking for real drama. I suppose that used to be, me when me and my husband were together, except my husband was the crazy one running around outside like fucking nutter. My ex-husband, that is. Now, and that's not because it's not happening. It happens. It just happens, on the other side of the parking lot. That's where that happens. That's where the police go. They don't come to this side because we mind our shit over here. So this woman's walking away, right? And she stops and she turns around and shouts some shit back at Pumpernickel, which, that's never a good fucking plan. Never a good plan, People just think they gotta have the last word in sometimes, and it just isn't smart. Obviously, Pumpernickel's already all worked up, I don't even know what she yelled, but I just hear Pumpernickel shouts out some shit bring your ass back over, or bring your ass over here, or something, and say that shit to me. I don't even know. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, fuck. I'm gonna go to jail. So I step out onto my front porch. I no longer just have my head popped out of my door. And I know shit, square up while I am holding my screen door open in front of my sister on my front porch, bitch, come at my sister, because I will fuck you up. You ain't never gonna make it there. Ain't never gonna make it to my sister. All the while, I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? It's like my sister. It's like Pumpernickel doesn't even realize that this bitch isn't even gonna ever make it to her. Does she not remember high school? Does she not remember high school? Okay? I was always the fucking enforcer, and I was always whooping the ass for both of us. And I haven't squared up like that in fucking years. So I'm standing there on my front porch, ready to lay into some bitch, all the while thinking, fuck, Do I even remember how to clothesline a cunt at this point? I don't know if I do. I mean, I can always football tackle a bitch, you know? I don't know. One way or another, though, my old fucking ass is gonna have to get it done. So this woman has stopped. And you can tell that she is sizing up this situation. Like, she is looking at my sister, and she is looking at me, and she is looking to the apartment across the way where those two are standing with the baby crying in the house. She's thinking about it. She's legitimately thinking about fucking the odds. Thank the gods, she was at least smart enough to realize that the odds were not in her favor at this point. And she turned around and she walked away. And then the neighbors start yelling at her, and Pumpernickel's yelling at her, "Don't you come back here. You keep your snitch ass out of here." So, while they're all yelling at this girl, this woman, I'm standing there, you know, just like thanking the gods, you know, like, I'm not gonna go to jail. This is so great. So then, out of the blue, Pumpernickel yells out after this woman, "And you done got my dog all worked up." I just looked at her like, your dog? Your dog's all worked up? I was all ready to go to jail because a bitch was gonna come after my sister. And you're yelling out about how your dog's all worked up? I mean, they're over there fighting about dope. You're calling people snitches? I mean, this is not a good situation any way you look at it. So the moral of the story is, don't get people's dogs fucking worked up. And snitching is never the answer.